Hi friends, Kansi here from atop Serenity Hill, and I wanted to share a walkthrough of the journal that my membership, the Creative Playground, worked on in 2024. I had a lesson for every month for them to do if they wish. My membership is very much about an invitation to your creative practice. Whether you take me up on it or not is entirely up to you. Sometimes just watching is enough for someone for that month. So we did a journal that I called, or the theme of the whole year was creativity is in your hands. And we created a journal that we ended up calling the Creative Hands Journal. And it looked like this. Okay, it's an accordion journal. And we did it by literally drawing our hand. So everybody's was their own. There was no template other than their own hands to make the cover out of cardboard. And then everyone painted it however they wanted to. This was how I interpreted mine. If you have been around me a hot minute, you'll know that I have a love affair with all things bright colors and the rainbow. If I have to choose, I don't. I put them all down. I also love eyes, which, are something that I incorporated in my work a lot. And then the other thing was mandalas. And then I added, arrows. Sheesh, lost my train of thought. Arrows on mine. So one pointing down and one pointing up. So, where am I grounding? What am I reaching for the year? And so I thought I would share what we did. The paper inside, again, it's an accordion journal, so it opens like that. And the paper is some mixed media, some watercolor, some, cardstock. It just depended what I did and how I added pages. I love this style because you can continue to add on to it if you want to. A lot of the members went past the 12 lessons and kept adding pages to it and made it their own because then they could work in it in addition. So I wanted to share the lessons in it. So let's see. Am I starting at the front? Oh, no, here's the front. Okay. So the first lesson was, or I should say, they bounced around in this journal. So the first lesson was this one, but the rest are not necessarily in sequential order. But we wanted to do an art supplies vision board. So I provided a printable with all these art supplies that I had drawn, and so people could use them if they felt that they represented what their artistic journey for 2024 might be about, how they wanted to put all these mixed media supplies together. I also used the supplies in the background first to create a base, and then, added the little cutouts on top. Everyone did it their own way, but it was fun to give them a printable to start off with so they didn't have to think about it too much. Pretty much, my members tend to use a lot of what I use, and so this represents both of us together really well. The other thing we did when we created the journal was we made our own washi tape to put the journals together. So, and I have a video of how to make, how I DIY washi tape below, so I'll put that for you. So there's washi tape on the inside that matched whatever we were doing with the cover. We made some washi tape out of masking tape. So another lesson that we did was I have a love affair with henna. I have done henna at fairs for many years. And because we were working on the hands, I thought it would be fun to just walk everyone through doing some henna designs on the hands. And so there's doodling with different colored pens, Sharpies, gold Sharpies. This is doodling with a colored pencil. And then I bought the Scribbles fabric paint and did it so that it felt more like if I was applying henna, because I use henna in a bottle, not a cone. And so it felt very much like how I would do it, on someone's hands. So that was one of the lessons, was just to give them a peek into something I have done in the past. And also doodling is a great meditative process. Just spending some time, making marks is always a great way to spend some time with your creativity for the month. So then this lesson was about creating butterflies that popped up in your book. I loved it. Mine tend to stay flat because of where I didn't want it on the crease. I put it to the side. So there's different ways of doing pop-ups in journals. This was mine. And, you know, each one was designed out of a different type of paper. I did, you know, there was collage paper, doodling, an actual collage of a butterfly, some watercolor, and then this is deli paper, I believe, so that you can see it's actually pretty flexible. And I stamped this final one and colored it in. So it's just a really fun surprise, and I just like making it do that. Super fun. So then this lesson was about using AI prompts. You know, AI is becoming a part of our world. However you feel about it, it's here. And so I just thought I would share how sometimes you want to draw something, but you can't find an image, or you can't take an image, a photo, because, you know, you don't have access necessarily to a woodpecker sitting on top of a sunflower just right there for you to take a photo. If you do, yay. But sometimes you're looking for, you know, a specific bunch of flowers in a vase, and you just don't have the ability to find it. But that's one of the things that AI can do, is you can put in some prompts. You could use it in Canva. I actually got this in Canva. But of course, there's so many ways that you can do AI prompts now. But I just put, I would like, you know, this kind of woodpecker, you know, sitting on the top of a sunflower. And the image came up, and then I was able to use it as inspiration to watercolor and then use colored pencils and create the design. So that was just an invitation to my members to, you know, see, is AI something that you enjoy? Does it, if it upset you and it wasn't something you wanted to do, now you know, you don't have to ever do it again. But it's always, you know, our creative world is huge and expansive, and I always want to invite you into trying new things, because that's what I tried to do for myself. So this was one of those. So this was one of the last, I think this was actually one of the last prompts. This was November, I believe. And it was just about creating, I wanted something dimensional, so spiral in the book. And I wanted to represent all the seasons. And, you know, I invited people to do whatever they wanted as far as, you know, what are they looking to expand in their life? What are they looking to see how their world, their creative life, you know, unfolded, unspiraled through the year? And I went with dump it all on the page. And I represented all the different seasons. Even my spiral goes from orange for fall to green to pink to blue. Okay, so that it represents, you know, a little bit of colors for all the seasons. And then so all my little bits of collage fodder represent the different seasons. And it's another fun interactive one. And then this was December. And for December, I invited everyone to make some pages in their not pages, pockets. There's pockets. And, you know, we used some printables that we had in the playground, and then made some pockets. And I wanted it to be a place that you could reflect on. So I haven't I'm filming this before the end of the year, so I haven't actually done mine, but you know, a list for grateful for 2004, just a little tag that you could write some grateful notes on. This was to hold either your word of the year going forward or going backwards. Mine has both. Okay, so tend is 2024, expand will be 2025. And then this for 2025 is a little pocket, an envelope. Well, it's an envelope in a pocket. And what it's meant to do is just hold a letter to yourself, which I have to write, a letter to yourself to open at the end of 2025, maybe some encouragement. So these are all ideas, of course, that you can use in your own art journals. All right, okay. And then this one was a bonus that I was teaching a class and had this journal as an example, and ended up doing a quick art journal lesson in my hand journal, which I love. This could not be more me, with the colors, the dragonfly. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to sum me up in a page, here you go. So then we flip the journal because it's an accordion and it opens the other way. And so for this lesson, this was a month where I needed to take a break, and I didn't have something like great and spectacular as a lesson to share. So I decided to swatch some alcohol inks that I got. They're new to me. They're not new. Obviously, alcohol inks are not new, but I have not used them very often. So I ended up swatching them: watercolor paper, mixed media paper, cardstock. Okay. I think that one stuck down. Yeah, cardstock. And then on little bits of acetate, so that I would have an idea of the set that I have. What does it look like when it hits? What does it do when it hits these papers? What does it look like? So that was the invitation for that month, was to just swatch something. Take one of your supplies and swatch it. Put it in here, okay? This month was an invitation to talk about dueling emotions. It was a hard month for me. As you could tell, there's a theme of how I teach. When I need something, I come up with a project and teach it. And through that, I tend to like learn something about myself. So that's how I teach other people. Like, this is what I learned this month. Here's an invitation. You might learn something by doing this project yourself. So I really like teaching that way. It keeps me from getting frustrated that I'm not teaching something that I find fun. I'm playful. Sometimes it gets deep. Sometimes it doesn't. But, when I think of something, I like to share it. And this is what it was. So this was about dueling emotions, about finding pictures of... I went with women in a fashion magazine that represented two sides. Like, how was I feeling? Kind of fierce and a little bit, sad, I guess it would be a good way of putting it, maybe a little burnt out. And it's not that she looks burnt out. It's more about the colors. Like, her colors are very vibrant. She has a really, bold lip. The look on her face, a bit fierce, whereas this one is a little more soft, a little more melancholy. The colors are muted. So what I did is I found those two, and then I went in and added collage papers that also spoke to the same emotions. So you can see this side's very bright. This side has a little bit more muted colors. And then I went in and added all these different sayings. It was an artist's life I wanted, vivid and flamboyant. Just at this moment, just hold on. Withered leaves about your feet. So, it was a way to process emotion by finding images that spoke to that, and then finding collage papers and just textures, I can't even say the word, and some words that spoke to the same idea, okay? And also a way to play with fold outs in the same journal. So again, a vision board. I love vision boards. So the way this was to just go down the word vision board. Like, this had nothing to do with images. I just wanted everyone to find words that spoke to them. What were they wanting to do? I have a feeling, knowing me, this was mid-year. Kind of like a check-in point with yourself. I also had them add a couple journaling cards in case you wanted something you wanted to, journal about. And again, adding dimension and an interactive part to the journal. So adding some flip outs. So a way to just go through all your words, go through magazines, and create yourself a vision board. So this one probably looks a little like, what is that? It had a purpose, okay? The purpose was to spend 5 minutes. That was it. No matter what it came out looking like, no matter what it looked like, whether it was done or not done, the purpose for this was 4 weeks in a month. If you have nothing else to do that month, if you have no other brain power, like your creativity is like, woo, done. 5 minutes. Pick 4 sections, 5 minutes. Just do something. Whatever shows up, and you walk away from it. And that's why some of them look like half finished. This one is a little bit doodly, but it's dark. Like, I could add. These I could continue to add to. There's nothing done about them, but that wasn't its purpose. Its purpose was the 5 minutes. Spend 5 minutes product, putting an art supply in that section. That was it. Okay. So that's something that I talk about a lot, that an art journal practice, or an art practice in general, doesn't have to have these like completed, amazing pages. That wasn't even what this book was about. Some of the pages are really done and finished and beautiful, and some of them are not, because that wasn't the point. The point for Creativity is in Your Hands is that you have 5 minutes once a week to do something, no matter what it looks like. Do something. Okay, so take that to heart. This was me wanting to play with watercolor. Obviously, it was spring, and I wanted to paint some watercolor tulips and daffodils. I love painting. I taught decorative painting and flower painting with acrylics for many, many years. And so I can usually paint these without blinking. But I wanted to try them with watercolor and see what happened. And I love the way it came out. Super pretty. So this was, I think, the 2nd. This was February. And what I encouraged everyone to do was to find creativity in your house. Okay, so patterns from home is really what I called it, was to go around your house and divide up your page and go around your house and find inspiration that you live with every day. My hardwood floors, part of a painting. Some of these I recognize. This was a year ago almost, so I don't always recognize everything. I know that this is like a placemat that's in my bedroom where I have a jewelry box sitting on top of it. I don't know. There was so many things that I just walked around my house and took photos of parts of rugs and pillows and whatever was popping around. This is, I have a table that kind of looks like this and there's a plant on it. So that was whatever was inspiring from just being in the space you're in all day long, that you don't always notice that you've put together patterns, and there's if you look tiny in your rugs or in a pillow or your sheets, or, open your closets and is there something fun on a mug? Look at the pantry. Is there an interesting pattern on a box of cereal? Anything like that. It's all around us. So this was an invitation to look within your home, find patterns that showed up, and put them in, a funky pattern on the hands. All right. And that's the end of the journal. That was 12 months. And then that was for 2024. 2025, we are going to, I have guest artists coming every month. So me and a guest artist will be offering a take on what I'm calling Roy G. Biv and the techniques. So the rainbow, everybody has a color and a technique, and they're going to offer up something in their style in that. I'm very loose. We're going to see what happens. I'm very excited to see what shows up in 2025 for everybody. And if you would like to join us in the membership, it opens about 2 or 3 times a year. There is a waiting list if it's not open when you see this. The link is below. You might catch it when you watch this and it happens to be open. If not, getting on my mailing list, which is also below, will get you the information when I open it, because I always have some kind of free lesson that is like a grand opening again, a grand reopening of the membership for you to join. I would love to have you a part of it. And if you have any questions, please comment below. You can email me, whatever you need to do. And always remember, creativity is in your hands. Pick one little thing and do something today. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.